of the humans. I'm easing myself into this because Calvino's asleep on my lap and he's twitching in a dream. Oh, I think he woke up. All right, there we go. Hey, buddy. You want to say hi to everybody? I gotta shift you because you've already put my leg to sleep and you've only been on my lap for 12 minutes. Maybe 15. He has my arm so captured down here that every time I move it and put it back, he grabs it harder. So he's got it clamped in with both claws, like. All right, buddy, I do have to move you. You're gonna hate me for this. You might Ralph. I don't know. Are you gonna Ralph? You're being such a good boy right now. You're being such a good boy. Yeah. You okay? Okay. I gotta move you though. You sound like a chainsaw at the moment. Well, everybody, I'm Frost. Welcome to Froste Written. We're working on the lore for the Legend Seeker role-playing game and attending to the whims of Calvino. And he's falling asleep in this position. Calvino, no. No. This is not nap time for you. Well, it is nap time for you. It's not nap time for you in that position. Oh, he's just flailing now. He's like, bleh. All right, I'm going to put you back down in my lap. All right, there you go. You got to find your own position. I'm going to take my arms. See these? These are mine. My arms. My goodness. He doesn't believe me, and he grabbed one already. Okay, bud. We're going to see how this works. I'm going to see. I'm going to move my stuff around a little bit to move around you. I'm going to accommodate you. I'm trying my best. Such a cat. What a good boy. But still, also, you're nuts. You're nuts. So, as I said earlier in the chat, we're going to talk a little bit about Agrium, that island kingdom that I have, because once upon a time, around the time before the God Killer War started, Agrium was a great empire that had control of not only their island, but most of the godlands that weren't under the control of the non-humans. So not every human empire was under them, or every human kingdom, but a lot of them were. They were kind of like the Roman Empire or the Greek Empire of their time. And they suffered from maybe, some of the same things, a government that was a little too centralized and wanted to have power, the destabilization of their economy, all kinds of fun stuff. And then the God Killer War came, and they were unable to keep track of everything and keep control of all their outlying provinces, so they kind of pulled back and pulled back and pulled back and pulled back until they had their island, and that was what they were trying to control. And that's kind of the state the world's in now. People remember, back in the history that Calvino gave me fur. Calvino, thanks so much for all the fur. Now I got to get a paper towel or something to get this piece of fur on my head. So professional. Thanks, buddy. But they are still a powerhouse. They still control the waterways and everything here. But the main godlands, no longer under their sway, except for one little barony they still have. Yes, Calvino says, hold my beer. Exactly, Kyle. Oh my gosh. The Island of Misfit Toys. Who wants a train with square wheels? Who wants a squirt gun that shoots jelly? Gonna be mobile for a bit. Or in a bit, going full lurk mode. All right, Kyle. Drive like a safe madman. All right, so I'm gonna change this to, instead of the history, put this as the God Killer War. And that's where we're gonna put this info. My gosh. The other fun thing Calvino did when he got in here is he decided to hop up on my keyboard and knock a can of Coke over. So that was fun. So I'm going to have to get a drink in a little bit, unfortunately, which means I'll have to step away. So hopefully he doesn't jump on the keyboard again. The dork. Safe madman. Yeah, what kind of... what kind of jelly? Let's go with... strawberry. I was close to going with blackberry, but strawberry. Strawberry is good. A lot of people like strawberry. Not enough people like marmalade, and also the orange peel and stuff can get stuck in the squirt gun. So slime jelly with a hint of Calvino fur. Oh yeah, Calvino fur is everywhere. I can't do anything about that. Petroleum jelly. What is the line from the Big Bang Theory? Grape jelly, the best tasting jelly, or versus petroleum jelly, the worst tasting jelly? What you doing, bud? He's sitting here like flipping his tail like he's all annoyed. What? You're giving yourself a bath. I'm not doing anything. Silly cat. All right. So I need to get my other document open here because I need to dig out my rewrite on the God Killer War. Which I'm not sure. I was going to ask at some point if Urudai was going to be sharing this, if he's going to be editing it. Because I did a rewrite of the original that he did, of the timeline of the war, the whole story, the beginning, the end, and all that, and the epilogue and everything, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, I was hoping that we could do a little bit of a reveal, but it's a lot. I mean, it's not short. It currently sits at almost 10,000 words. So that's like a 30-page book right there, or 30-page thing. So I'm putting it in this document, but I don't know how it's going to work in here. So we're going to paste it in here. We're going to paste just the text. And then suddenly we have another 10,000 words in this document, which will be great. You know, I like to write things in other documents and then bring them back over. Sorry about the scrolling. I know it's going to drive some people crazy. Just look away for a second. It's like that pot of roiling flesh that we saw last night in Cthulhu. Just look away. All right, we're going to go with, that's the heading. We're going to go with heading 2 for this. And that's going to be there. Pull this up a little. I don't know if we're going to end up on a new page with this, but, you know, I'm going to put a page break in here anyway. Blackberry jam. I made some blackberry jam this summer again, but I did not, like I did last year for whatever reason, I did not cook it long enough to really set up. So I got, instead of jam, I got kind of like nice thick preserves, which was fine because I like it that way, but I was hoping it was really going to set up. I didn't put any extra pectin in. I just used the berries and sugar. And that was it. I didn't cook it long enough to really get it to set up, unfortunately. But it was really good, and I've eaten it all already. I made 5 jars of it. Gone. I like chili. All right, let's go find some more of these headings. I've got to swap some of these out to put them into the correct headings. What did I do here? There we go. To heading. Heading 2, creation. I was unlucky enough to be fed pear jelly as a child. Pear jelly? I have never had pear jelly. Huh. Pear jelly. I mean, I like pears, but pear jelly? I don't know. What do you think, Calvino? Pear jelly? He's fallen asleep in his little position here. All right, we're going to put a heading there. We're going to kill space here. Go down to Grix's quest. Give that a heading. Secrets of the Keep. Whoops. No, I did not mean to delete an R in there. I meant to delete this. Heading 2. And we're going to go with heading 2. Dang it. Sometimes this program, I say, it's so weird using kind of like normal headings and setting, like type spacing and stuff, because I tend to want to put spaces between large things, and that is not something people do as much anymore. They don't even do the double period or the double space at a period. People decry it as old-fashioned and a waste of space. I I think it looks better. It really helps people who might have trouble telling when something ends and starts space-wise, but I'm not a printer, and I am not a person who pays for this stuff normally, so we'll go with what they want. Okay, wages of war. Boop. A bleak outlook. Turning point. I think I just deleted that accidentally. There I did. Breaking the chains. Breaking the chains. All right, there we go. Boy, I forgot I wrote this much. I liked it though, so that's good. Okay. Isolation. Too many spaces there. All right, so boop, boop. Legend continues. And the epilogue. Boop, and almost on time, like normal. I have started a stream, so I start getting texts. Where I haven't gotten a text since 9 o'clock this morning. Let's see what I got. It's not even spam. All right. Yes, formatting. Yeah, writing documents, it's weird because the programs that you use, sometimes they do the extra space, sometimes they don't. When you do format for submitting documents to literary agents for consideration, no 2 spaces. They want a single space. They don't want tabs. They don't want extra spaces. They don't want any of that stuff. All right, this is about the book. This is where the Godland starts. So I was doing extra spaces in here. We'll see. I might end up putting them back in here. All right, so I don't have a name for that guy. All right, that's fine. Now, I really want to grab something to drink, but there is a really happy sleeping cat who's almost grinning on my lap because he's got me pinned. So what I need to do is have some telekinesis power so I can just reach and do this and go, gimme, gimme, gimme. It's not working though. All right, so we've got this in here now. Boop, 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 boop. I am going to open out. I'm going to go to my view, go to my navigation pane. I know this will look weird to you all for a second, but not that it doesn't already look weird. Agrium, we're going back to Agrium. Okay, there we go. Boom. All right. I think this is my group talking about whether we're playing or not. Okay. Got it. Yeah, he has me wrapped around his paw. He does. He's such a good cat, though. It's hard not to be nice to him. All right, I've got the 3 major groups, the cultural groups on the islands. I don't have their names yet. I started working on names for these islands, but we'll figure that out. So, like I said, Agrium was the little island that before the God Killer War spread out all along the coast and took over most of the areas along the coast. They didn't own or weren't in control of Thalassia. That was totally an independent kingdom. The kingdoms down to the south and west, which were the more what we recognize as more of like a far eastern kingdom in our world, they were independent. The Sapphire Sands and the kingdoms out there were independent, but a lot of the other things down in the other areas here were all under their control in some way or another. But that all came to an end. A sticky end. Night, Paul Farrell. Are you going to sleep? Going to sleep? Or are you just going to fall asleep to my my voice while I talk. Huh. Weird. He literally fell asleep in the weirdest position where he's just sitting here like this, like, and he just fell asleep in that position. The dork. I can't even reach to the drink that I had earlier that's partly got knocked over. Dang it. Yes, sleep spells for everybody. Woo. Oh, sorry. I mean, what? Yeah, ASMR. Woo, the thing that I do not understand. I have really good hearing, so everything that I hear always bugs me. Like, I hear crackling and stuff, and I'm like, what the hell is that? I hear a noise, I'm like, what caused that? What's going on? So I think if I were to actually just sit in on somebody doing an ASMR stream, I would want to jump through the computer and smack them. I'd tell them to quit it. I could be wrong, I don't know. All right, this is the examples for names. That's Dwarven Nation. Okay, so... Dun, 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 dun. Frost violence. ASMR is terrorism. Violence, violence, either way. Either one works. Okay. Usia is a little barony they control. I'm gonna have to rewrite that paragraph, but I've got these 3 groups. All right, and I'm looking at my map here. Okay, there we go with this. Yeah, I'll have to at some point get together with Erudai and talk about a few of these like specifics when I send him another draft of this thing, because well, I don't think I've actually sent him a draft of this yet. I will be sending him a draft. Talking about some of the main issues facing these different kingdoms and places, and kind of get our ducks in a row, so to speak. All right, so I've got this. Where is the... That's the Dwarven Nation. All right, we're going to put another entry here. Sorry, Calvino. I touched his ear and it flickered and he looks all like, eh. Oh, that's not the right heading. Is it heading 2? Yeah, there we go. Okay. We will go here. Put this here. I've got to grab this thing. Put this here. Okay. Whoops. Yeah, that's right. Okay, delete these. I'm just deleting a few of these entries because I don't need them yet. I just need the basics. All right, so that I'm going to use for each one of these, because these are kind of the little headers that are going to give me the idea. I know you can't read it, but it's talking about the major conflict of the people, the demonym of the people, kind of what they call themselves, like, you know, dwarves, humans, Agrians, whatever. Oops. You know, the Kekistanis. Don't kill people in lore. I'm gonna kill people in lore. I'm assuming you mean deaf in one ear, not death in one ear. Death in one ear, but the other's still sharp minus tinnitus. So yes, ASMR drives me nuts when I go to sleep. Literally wake up pissed when YouTube puts an ASMR in my autoplay. Nice. Nothing like getting woken up and being angry. That could be a song. Somebody should make an AI song. Wake up angry. I chose violence. You're deaf in one ear? Hey, look at all you people. You got something in common. Not a really fun thing to have in common, but it's a thing. Yeah, turn off autoplay. Or spend a lot of time trying to teach it what you want to see Maybe. All right, so I have to look something up because I need to know what this means 100%, so I'm not wrong. Okay. Wake me up before I'm angry. Got hit in the head with a shovel. Oh, well, it's all Crescent's fault. All right. Okay. Industrial center. Okay. If I need something other than rain and thunder to sleep, I find a playlist so the sound is consistent or put it on a loop. There you go. If I need something that's noise, I'll just put on like a TV show that I've seen before. Something like that. Like maybe a something like Castle or something like that. The only problem with that sometimes is occasionally you end up with like screaming murder people. Not exactly easy to deal with. Let's see. A federal convention? No. How would that work out? Trying to figure out something really quickly about our Germanic kingdom here. Oops, I closed the wrong thing. Oops. I have closed the wrong window. I will redo this. There we go. You listen to movie soundtracks. Oh, that would work. Okay. Okay, this is what I was looking for. It's the appointed time. Okay. Huh. Okay, yeah, that's a silly word to be using though. It's a word that ancient Germans use for their folk moots and things, which is usually called a thing. Calvino, your head is falling backwards. You're about to do the little baby kitten thing. If you hear a Ralph soon, it's because he's falling backwards asleep. I'm just watching his head go. Dude. Yeah, hi. Don't do that. You're going to fall over. Big stretch. Okay, there we go. Okay. Yeah, they literally called it a thing. Which just not a good name for it. Okay. All right, we're gonna put that in there. All right. Ralph, close all the windows. Don't let the bugs inside. Yeah. Only problem with sleeping to music is I end up getting an idea stuck in my head after write down, then head back to Square Zero. So like, stop watching TTRPG stream replays. Ah, all the ideas that flow through your head. Yep. Okay, Calvino, you're gonna hate me, but I do have to get up and get that drink now. Are you gonna forgive me? Probably not. You gonna forgive me? He's like, "Meh, meh." Okay. Come here, buddy. You're being boneless. Why are you being boneless all of a sudden? He's being boneless, Calvino, at the moment. Why? Why boneless, Vino? Why the boneless Calvino right now? Hmm? Yes, I know. Dig your claws into my chest. That's a great idea. My buddy. I gotta get a drink, though, so I gotta take my headphones off. Yep, those are headphones. Yeah. Are you coming with me to get a drink? Oh, no, he's passed out. He just goes, "Rah." You want to Ralph with this? No? He doesn't want to Ralph at it. Okay, bud. Are you coming to get a drink with me, or are you sitting on the chair? You gonna sit on the chair? Okay, you get the chair. I'll be right back, everybody. After Calvino makes it into a big issue. Makes everything difficult. Well, you can tell Calvino got down. My chair was spun. All right. I am back. I still have cat fur in my mustache and my beard. I suppose nuzzling him was a bad idea, huh? All right. We're going to have some Coke. But I've also gotten myself, you guessed it, a cup of coffee. To which I'm adding hot sauce. Chair Lord! All right, so today I'm putting Chipotle Tabasco in. So, there we go. Because I like Chipotle Tabasco, and it's smoky, and it tastes good with coffee. Well, black coffee, anyway. Not nearly as hot as the other stuff I use. Hi, Calvino. What's up? You coming back up now? Do I need to move? Okay. Yeah, wow, you look bright-eyed and bush-tailed. You had a good nap, didn't you? Come here. Hi. Come here. Come on. Good boy. All right, there we go. How do you deal with the cube stuck in your... Wah, wah. It's good. I think it's an acquired taste, but I like hot sauce in my coffee. Okay, you gonna lay down? All right, there you go, bud. Perfect. Perfect. You got the perfect spot. What? What? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. What made a hot cup of coffee there? I have it turned up and it's just sitting on the burner over there. Just the carafe is, and it's a hot cup. No regrets. Hot sauce and coffee actually scares you. Ha ha. Imagine if I had Death Wish coffee right now. I'm just having generic, just, I don't know, some brand of coffee. Hi, bud. Okay, go ahead, lay down. Where are we at here? Oh, I was talking about the local Tingstals. Tingstos. The Tings. Report to the folk moot and then to the Chancellor. Common. We'll just go with common. We'll go with common, elven, and dwarven are big. Now, these people. Let me go get the Hi Calvino. Yeah, I'm not talking to you. I'm just talking to myself. Don't worry. You don't have to. He's like, every time I say something, he looks at me, he goes, huh? I'm talking to you, dude. It's okay. All right. I think maybe they're going to be Vulcan and Arendor. You're a carafe. Exactly. You know, one of those things with the long neck that holds coffee. Croissant's probably the only thing that scares you. Death Wish coffee is extra caffeinated coffee. You are not wrong, Levistro. All right, so Vulcan and Arendor. Yes, Calvino. You feel so much smoother now that I brushed all the burrs out of you. Except your undercarriage. You get that full of burrs every single day, and I can't keep that free. That's up to you to fix. All right, Elven, Dwarven, Vulcan, and Arendor. Vulcan is the god of creation, innovation, and Arendor is the god of nature and the wild. So this kingdom is more of a Germanic-based nation. Kind of the idea of, you know, the tribes all coming together. They have moots, and they have one chancellor that supposedly oversees all of them, but it's a lot of different groups, all of their chieftains and people all working in concert for the most part after the war. They used to be unified under a local governor and a ruler from Agrium back in the day, but, you know, since Agrium pulled away and left them to their own, they now have, you know, the remnants of Agrium, you know, style buildings and roads and whatnot. But they are trying to, you know, their best to reclaim it because they're very innovative and creative, and they're like, we can figure this out. So they're a very can-do group of people. Lots of adventurers come from here. Kind of like a High King, sort of. He is sort of a chancellor, so he's not like a king. He's more chosen by the other groups and moots. So if he falls out of favor, they can replace him. So they have their little groups and moots, and people can go to the Rathaus and place in their local town and decry the leader, debate them, work on it. Kelvin, that's your own fur. Sorry, he's like going, and it's his own fur that's bothering him. You did it. Did it to yourself, bud. I think he just wants me to keep petting him. I think that's why he's making all these gestures like, oh no, I'm so upset. Okay. You say, I remember drinking that one night during coding, biggest mistake of my life, could not sleep later. Oh no! All right, so I want to throw another god in here, though. Do I want... I think they'll be the main gods. Yeah, we'll go with that. And their major conflict is going to be all the internal stuff. Because they border on the Elven Kingdom, and the Elven Kingdom has no problem with them, and they leave each other alone for the most part, because the humans in this nation have realized you don't piss the elves off. This is a society that does have warriors. They have a good standing army. They have a lot of warriors, and they have a lot of craftsmen. So guilds are a big thing with them. The one of the groups that is part of the Agrium Kingdom, the three major cultures that make up Agrium on that island, one of them is the very warlike group. That is more warriors. They're tested. You know, they have a very stringent society. They are smallest. I think I have them as the smallest of the factions, but they are really active in training, and they are looked to as, you know, part of like the defense. So kind of like the idea of a British version of a light Spartan culture. Very, very warrior oriented. Now, these guys do, like I said, they have a lot of warriors. They're good. They're not particularly hell-bent on conquest. If you think of them more along the lines of plains and hills, they will have a lot of horsemen, like the Rohan people. They will have a lot of cavalry, because they have, their lands are very, very spread out, and they have very few natural defensive structures, which is why they're happy to have the elves on the one border, because they don't have to worry about the elves fighting with them. And the rest of their place is the dark forests. Yeah. Oh, my little cat snuggled up like a little 22-pound caterpillar on my lap. Yeah, what's up, buddy? Okay, he snuggled down as soon as I said something. He's like, what? I did what? All right. So these are, yeah, they have their horse. Oops. So yeah, I'm just laying out how they, kind of the basic idea of their land. That they were under the control of Agrium, but it was also the first to split from Agrium when the island kingdom or the empire turned their attention more to the Godkiller War, because they were a little more trouble than they were worth to Agrium when the war started, because keeping them happy and keeping them under control with their their standing army and their cavalry and everything. They're like, they'll be fine. Oh, what would be the word for this? Not unwillingly, but grudgingly. There we go. Oh. I gotta go back a page to remember what I called these things. There we go. Oh, I guess I don't have to go back a page. I gotta go over there. So there's a lot of resentment here. I just say they have a strong standing army, though they're fractured politically. Most of the chieftains grudgingly attend the tingstells and moots, paying their taxes and pledging fealty to the chancellor yearly. Most wish to rule in isolation and grate on the centralized power that reminds them of the past under Agrium's rule. So you're going to find a lot of border conflicts, trade conflicts, and stuff like that. They're, they all consider themselves part of the same country, and they will come together if their greater borders are threatened. But they're also a bit chaotic when they're fighting against one another, and it's not unusual to have like one of these guys just say, "Oh, well, that's our village now. Sorry, it's on this side of the river. You're on that side of the river." And then fights back and forth, which then have to be, adjudicated back and forth. A lot of good old days. Yep. You'll see a lot of, this is going to have a lot of like roots in the old Saxon kingdoms. It's going to feel like some of that. Like, I don't have time to babysit all of you. Stop fighting one another for a little bit. A lot of politics, a lot of marriages back and forth. A lot of fun stuff going on. Call Daxi. Yeah, that's the fun here is these guys are kind of like the Saxons, and the Agrium nation is kind of like what you would consider the Romans, but they are then, when they pull back onto their island, they kind of form like what becomes the Angles, the Saxons, the Jutes, or whatever. They have little bits from a bunch of these other kingdoms, and like the kings and chieftains, the people who are really allied and part of the power structure, pulled themselves back, brought their personal armies and their people and families and whatnot back to the island. So then as the empire shrunk, they brought more and more people that were like the important people back to the island. So then you've got these three civilizations that all are part of the Agrium society, kind of like, the Romans would be, Iberians and all these other people coming back. And they have an uneasy alliance because they're like, well, we're all in control of this island now, and we are one people, even though they're not one people. And they left like remnants of everything all over the place. So it's, again, people like, if you talk to somebody now, I know it's the time difference is different. If you talk to somebody now in Rome or somewhere in Italy, they'd be like, yes, we're all Italians. And It'd be like one of them saying, "Yes, we are all Romans." You're like, no, you're Italians. You're not really Romans. I think I just got bit by a bug. I got bit by a bug, Dave. I got bit by a bug. Trying to say, I'll say discourse. There we go. So I'm saying the local rat house. They're basically just little forums, little place for somebody to vent, talk, discuss, all those fun things. And I'm probably pronouncing it incorrectly, but I'm not German, so it's basically the idea of a medieval city hall. The idea. And this, I have them as like a public forum, kind of like a drinking hall or something, like a large building of some sort near an open air area, like a beer garden almost, where people can sit and drink, but one person can get up and just go on a diatribe about, we don't owe these people taxes, and here's my rationale why. And people are, very well argued. Oh yeah, maybe this will make a change, and that sort of thing. You know, you nail your 99 theses somewhere, or your 112 rules for drinking or something, whatever you're going to put up there. But it's a time-honored tradition. There we go. Yeah, kind of basically, not a coliseum. No, not exactly. They don't make me bleed my own blood. Literal, like a little town square. It could be a circle. But for them, it has a lot of drinking. I'm gonna say fortified. They're known for their amber beers and their fortified wines. So they're known for their amber beers and fortified wines, as well as a multitude of ways to preserve all types of food. Their horsemen have always required stable rations for their extended trips, and their devotion to Vulcan and the spirit of innovation have served them well in this regard. I like how Calvino has found himself. Now he's flopped with his head laying off the side of my knee and his arm just dangling in midair. It's perfect. The Hold My Beer Center. You got it exactly right, Levistro. Isn't there a quote that's something along the lines of, if an idea sounds good sober and drunk, it's a good one? That's not bad. I like it. I don't know if it's a quote, but it is now. I can change him sounds good drunk and sober. Apparently it ends badly. I don't know. Badly for who? So right now I just have the Chancellor can call the Horseman to ward any time, and all male citizens between the age of 16 and 30. Might be a little generous. I don't know. Maybe I'll pull that down. But 16 and 30 are required to keep themselves and their armaments ready for war or to fight. Which is not much to ask, because with all the local conflict, most of them are already ready. Maybe it was a Greek thing. They debated things drunk and sober to see if it was a good idea. I like this. Beer, 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 Timmy, beer, beer, beer. Really? You can imagine that? I don't know about that one. So their western borders with the elves of whatever we're calling them, with whom they have a treaty that stretches back for many lifetimes of men, so they devote little time to defending the edge of their territory. Oops, I can spell remnants. So, the vast plains of the east border the other wildlands and remnants of former Agrian colonies. So they devote a great deal of time to patrolling between the border forts there. I guess I'll capitalize this. Halflings end up news. All right, so a great number of dwarves, halflings, and gnomes live in the southern areas of these lands and the hills along the coast. These lands are granted these people by the Agrians, but these people honor their ownership claims because they're good trade partners. Trade between these peoples and whoever they are is brisk and profitable for both sides, which is a good reason. They keep them there. You stay down there. You guard that area. Thank you very much. You guard that area and you keep us happy. Oh no, a certain kitty cat is dreaming right now. Maybe a Scottish thing. I'm gonna flip at that pole and flip it. Sober guy wanted to see him fail for lol. Says do it. Origin of caber tossing. There you go. Yeah, caber tossing is just not. Ugh. That's just crazy, man. Crazy. Same thing with golf. Had to be drunk to do golf, right? Right? Maybe not. All right, so there's the dwarves. All right, I will be putting a couple notes here. So we go capital. We're gonna give. Why is that spaced out weird? That's weird. What is that doing? Why does it do that? Calvino, why is it doing it? Why does it do it, buddy? I woke him up by asking him questions. Oh no, he's awake. Sorry, bud. All right, we got the halfway town. We got the capital of Dwarven Harbor. Hi, what's up? Comfy. Yeah, you need a tummy scratch. Okay, you needed a tummy scratch. All right, just a second. I can't type for a second. I've got a kitty cat who's got my arm. Oh, buddy. When I say kitty cat, I mean a massive cat who's got hold of my arm. How about his head clean off his shoulders and it landed in a rabbit hole. Golf had some really bloody origins. Well, you know, those hobbits. Those hobbits, they're violent, violent species. Aren't they, Calvino? Those bloody little hobbits. Those bloody little hobbits. He's like, I don't care. Just keep petting me so I can fall back asleep. You are not going to trick me into putting my hand into your head. Oh. He won't let my hand go. This is his paws in my hand. There we go. Thank you, bud. Really? Do you think that warranted a chitter? He was not happy with me taking my hand away. All right, bud. I need my hand back. Jerk. You jerk. He's like, I'm not a jerk. You put holes in my finger. You put holes in my finger to hold on to it. Really? No. He's just waiting for me to put my hand back down there so he can grab it again. He's literally just waiting. He's got his paws apart like this. Not gonna fall for it. I've got the capital of the Roman Harbor, the Heflin town. Okay, Bane fires. What? Yeah. Be a good boy. Yeah. I don't know if you guys just heard that. I said, be a good boy, and he goes, sits up. What? What are you doing? Trying to find a new position here? Can I move my leg before you do that? Okay, before you lay down, before you lay down. Move my leg, okay? All right. There we go. There you go. Now you can do it. There we go. Hello, Erudai. We're dealing with cat fur and Calvino and story and literature and stuff. And whatnot. By the way, Kyle had an interesting question in the comments from last week's stream about the Jabberwock. I answered him, but I'm not really sure. He'd said, it's interesting about the Jabberwock, and he was curious if the Jabberwock could be corrupted. And I said, well, given that it's a unique, eternal creature, I think it could possibly be corrupted in some way, like dark magic, fey magic or something. But once it's killed and reborn, it'll always revert back to its default status. So I said, maybe. Nah, we gotta have a Rudai here. So I'm going over the kind of one of the Germanic-ish Saxony kind of nations in the center here. That is, you know, the horse lords of the hills, who also are kind of chafe under the control of their current chancellor and people that control them, because it harkens back to the people who used to control them. Because when the Godkiller War started, the big empire that controlled all these kingdoms kind of started pulling back, and leaving people to their own devices. So since the Godkiller War, they've pretty much been on their own for many centuries. All right. I have them dedicated mostly to Vulcan and Arendor. So innovation, creation, nature. And the wilds, because, you know, they're a little wild. I think they mean, yeah, corrupt, like it could get corrupted by somebody corrupting it with dark magic, or it being involved with something in the darker part of the Feywild or something. Not 100% certain what he meant. He said corrupted, and I'm like, maybe it could be, I don't know. But like I said, if anything else, it could be corrupted, but it would be very temporary, because if it's killed or destroyed or driven back or whatever, it would just become, you know, it would reform, because it's eternal. Leave me to my own devices, that's not good. Ha ha ha. Okay, marriages in the kingdom. Whoops. I type good. Calvin, you're in a perfect spot again to be in my way. Oh, there we go. I suppose anything is possible. Yeah, I don't, and I wasn't 100% certain. So maybe if Kyle comes back, he can kind of ask more specifics about it, see what he thinks. And Ruda, one quick question. I'm assuming that a half elf is totally viable in this world. So human and elf, have a kid, you got a half elf. Okay, cool. It better. Okay. Now, one question also, I'm assuming that I think we talked about gnomes, halflings, dwarves, elves, humans. Those are the main humanoid races that people will play, but you'll have to let me know if there are others that I need to be including in some of these kind of cultural makeups. Like, which ones are valid to have where? I mean, we have orcs, which are bad, and giants and ogres and all that stuff, which are also bad. I don't know. Half dragons, I'm gonna be contentious here with that, Levistro. That makes zero sense to me ever, because I'm not an anime person. I don't like anime, I don't care about anime, but I've never really understood that one. I suppose it's possible if a dragon can take a human form. Other than that, it's just a little disturbing to think about. Hi, buddy. Hi. Kelpino's rolling around here. He's roaring. Moss Boss. No, Moss Boss is just a big giant or a big ogre, whatever he's gonna be. He's whoever. He's whoever's in charge. Moss Boss. Hi, buddy. But yeah, I'm not even certain, you know, I'll let a rude eye talk about the dragons and such. Yeah, if the dragon can take different forms, it's possible. I've never really understood why a dragon would ever deign to bed a mere mortal. Now, if we're talking like back in some ancient day and it's a demigod and a dragon, the dragon might be like, oh, yeah, you're worthy. You're past. Maybe. But I get the impression that dragons are pretty full of themselves, because they're the firstborn. Yeah, I never liked this. I'm just gonna say that none of the D&D stuff to me is like relevant to most of that, because I'm just like, D&D, they just did some weird stuff in third. They even did weird stuff in second edition. Oh my gosh. There was some weird stuff going on back then. Those weirdos back in the second edition days with their 3-ring binder stuff. I still remember when it was kind of a fad to think, you know, the 3-ring binder idea of like, it's 3-ring binders. I'm like, that's kind of cool. You can put them wherever you want. But then people started to realize, oh, they can get really out of order really fast. It was a neat idea. But it also was just, it was worth a shot. It was strange. Oh, you're going to hop into voice chat. All right, let me hop into voice chat as well. Let me get myself over there. Come on, voice chat. Oh, I'm scrolling and I'm trying to get to it. Blorp. We'll see how it works out here. We'll have to. I'll make sure that my thing is still set up properly. Desktop audio. What am I set with properties here? All right, I'm in the broadcaster. That should be good. We'll see when he hops in if we can hear him or not, or if I've screwed things up. Ha ha ha. Yeah, the 3-ring binder thing, like I said, it was a very interesting plan and a thought process. It was weird. It was weird. Did I just get a little piece of cat fur in my coffee? Yes, I did. All right, let's get that out of there. Come here, spoon. Spoon and paper towel. I don't want a piece of cat hair in my coffee. Nobody wants cat hair in their coffee, do they? Nobody in their right mind wants that. Calvino's like, I disagree, sir. I disagree wholeheartedly. Tink, tink, tink. Ah, okay. Interesting. All right, Rudai, I can't hear you because you are muted right now. Maybe you're muted. Oh, you're unmuted.
Hello, hello, you Chad bastards.
All right, hopefully everybody can hear Rudai. Even if you don't want to.
I hope so. I hope so. It was just easier. I'm driving on my way to work, going in late a little bit today. So it was just easier than trying to type out that. But in regards to half dragons and dragonborn, I don't currently have those as a lineup for the Seeker's rulebook.
Okay. So, not at start.
Yeah. Generally speaking, for the Seeker's rulebook, I'm staying away from animalistic / furry races. Is kind of how I think of them.
Oh, okay.
Not to say they don't exist potentially, like catfolk. I know people have been asking about those, and I've been mulling it over. But I'm not a huge fan of the every animal needs a humanoid type direction that D&D and Pathfinder have taken. Alkins and Airkins and cat people and
yeah, they've gone a little far with the two-spirit stuff.
Yeah, so I'm kind of being selective with that, and then Dragonborn are a little bit unique to D&D, and half dragons don't currently make sense with my setting because dragons, well, they don't naturally shape change.
Right.
Dragons are capable of, they're highly intelligent, powerful creatures. They've got both innate magic and the capability to learn magic. So it is possible a dragon could learn shape change, but would that allow them to actually then have children with somebody? I don't know. Probably not. But yeah, it's not a D&D where like all dragons can do it. Essentially, that's not really a thing here.
But like you said, also the good thing is that you write this, you make the book, you put it out, and then people can do whatever the hell they want in their own campaign. So they're like,
yeah, totally.
I've got my half dragon, half cat people.
And of course, there'll be expansive books and new regions and who knows, right?
Yeah.
And I do know there is at least a couple dragons that can shape change. They're all legendary. They're either gods. So Grix, for example. Ariandor also has a dragon form, but they're gods. So it's not really the same as turning into a human. It's just one of their different avatars.
True.
Good point. And then there is one particular dragon, legendary, that I won't mention, any of the details about right now, who does have a humanoid version of herself.
Okay. We know it's a woman. He slipped up. It's a girl.
I have let the cat out of the bag. Speaking of the cat out of the bag, I totally have this this NPC idea in my head of a hairless kennel who has devices on the cat market as a little cat army, and he keeps getting foiled.
Okay, I like it.
When you were talking about it, all I could think of was a hairless kennel just like plotting like that is the ripest field of undead cats I've ever seen. But every time he tries to do it, he gets spoiled somehow.
I like it. I think that could be fun. That gives him a goal all the time. He's always got a goal. It's always the same goal, but that's fine. Levistro says, "Why is Rudai always calling me out?" Ah, you just included Levistro. It's inclusion.
Yeah. And, again, as per usual, I will always state this thing's, still being written, and we may get a certain way into the lore and say, you know what, maybe half dragons do make sense or something like that. But like right now, just the way I envision dragons, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think you kind of already touched on it. They have a very strong superiority complex.
Mm-hmm.
And there's really not, in my mind, a biological way for them to do this. I think it would just kill a human to try to mate with them. But yeah.
Levistro signing himself up to try. I volunteer as tribute. Okay, maybe not. One thing I was going to mention is when I talked, I jokingly mentioned, the Fae or the Fee or whatever you're calling them, the Fae creatures from the Canadian wilds. They have, whatever form. Somebody had asked if the Fae have a chosen form, or if they're like just specifically they're born in a form and they can just shape change or whatever. I wasn't sure how you're answering it, but I actually had the idea of Acorn and Buttercup, those two little Fae I threw out that I'm going to throw in somewhere, that they look like, the one looks like it's a little guy who's an anthropomorphic. He basically looks like a little mouse, but he's, a mouse who can, use his arms and talk and walk bipedally, but his friend Buttercup is kind of a rat. It's a pear-shaped little rat. But they're basically helpers of Kika. And so they go out and do little things for her. So I was having fun writing stuff up for them, but I'm like, is that too anthropomorphic? I mean, they're only like this tall, but you'll have to let me know if that's too crazy or not.
I mean, I think as far as the Fae goes, I mean, there's not a lot that's off limit. It's a very whimsical place, so whimsical things happen. In terms of most of them have a default form. Sort of the same way that devils and demons and things like that usually would. So,
Okay.
Harold's Kennel is technically a Fae.
True.
It's just a corrupted one. And not all of them. Some of them certainly have the ability to shape change, and I think perhaps in Canada specifically, there's a lot more occurrences of unique beings. And I don't mean that like, hey, this is a person with a unique personality. I mean, like kind of like a Jabberwock, like a one of a kind creature being whimsied into existence, or maybe even a prior Fae who whimsied themselves would be something else. The sheer power of magic of whimsy type stuff.
Okay.
So I mean, yeah, you could definitely have all sorts of Fae creatures, probably more so than you would anywhere else.
We could have some very strange things. That would be fun.
Yeah, but generally speaking, yeah, they have their form and their type, and that's just kind of what they are.
Okay, great. That'll be fun to play with, though, regardless of how they work and how much changing they can do. If they can have a bizarre set of forms, like even in like Shakespeare, they have all kinds of strange forms for all the little Fae. That's nice and classical, and will give people a lot of leeway in their campaign. That'll be fun. I like it.
Yeah, it's whimsy and chaos. That's Canada. So if they're gonna find something strange, it'll definitely be there.
Excellent. I like it. It's gonna be fun. So I was gonna ask you what exciting fun things you've been working on lately, because I know I didn't get to sit through the entire stream today, but I know that you talked about the Jabberwock and Canada and your music channel, which was cool.
Yeah, read that tunes.
I specifically went and subscribed to it immediately. I was like, boom.
I was just really proud of the name. It was a clever pun, I thought.
Did Chrysanth groan? Is she still groaning? Let's see. Oh yeah, she even threw it in the chat there.
Yeah, she absolutely groaned. That was unquestionable.
Nice.
Oops, 1 second here.
Levistro, you did miss an Erudai stream. You have to go back. He did a stream this afternoon.
It was a short one, about an hour, and a lot of it was I'd gotten some questions about. Actually, I do have something. Well, I don't want to interrupt the lore for it, but I could do a little spiel on the NDAs too, because I've had a couple questions on that. But a lot of people are asking about some of the mechanical things, so I reintroduced Legend Seeker, just talking about that stuff, and letting people know, hey, here's besides the mission, right, which is to make a game not polluted by the outside. Yes, there are unique things and directions I'm taking this. Here's what you can expect. So that's kind of what that stream hit on, and then I talked a little bit about the Jabberwock, Canadia, and the Hairless Kennel specifically. A lot of Fey touch stuff, because that's where my mind's been a little bit. But I'll let you take a few guesses. Which part of my bestiary I'm working on right now? That's kind of where my head's at. So
nice. Well, that's cool. I've been hopping back to that because I want to work on some stuff for the serialized thing. So I have some thoughts and ideas, and that's going to come into it. So it'll be entertaining.
Excellent.
Especially since Kika.
Yes, especially since Kika.
Because Kika. Do you know, off the top of your head, if when how I rewrote the God Killer War with the epilogue and the prologue and the epilogue with the guy at the wedding story, and rewrote the story in my other voice, and I got that all together, and it's like 10,000 words or whatever. I have currently put it into this book in that long form. Do you think that's where this is going to sit, and we put an encapsulated version in the main book, or which way would it go, do you think?
So the intro that you wrote, I think, makes the most sense for the book you're writing.
Okay.
Most.
Okay. Because it's got the intro, and then it has rewritten the entire timeline of all the segments and everything you did, and it is, like I said, it's almost 10,000 words long, so that's like almost 30 pages. No, it's about 20 some pages, 25 pages of stuff. If you consider a page to be about 300 words. So if we were going to put an encapsulated version, I guess if you wanted to put something in the main book that you're doing, we could do a summarized version, maybe.
Yeah, so your book's definitely going to be setting stuff and flavor, or like not even flavor, like the full Monty of the text, whereas the Seeker's Rulebook's not really going to talk a lot about setting so much, but it will have flavor text that alludes to it.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, it'll be more like, for example, the classes, right? We'll have the iconic legendary characters, and it'll summarize them. Even though it's not a setting book, those characters are tied to the setting, that type of stuff.
Yep. Okay. All right. Good. That's good to know, because then those characters will not be re-featured here unless they are part of a story and their name is mentioned or something like that. But they won't be. We wouldn't be putting them back in here to explain them all again, because we'd leave that to you've got them as icons. They're the legendary bits and pieces. But in this,
Right.
we could put other characters, like I put a few other NPCs. They're not legendary. They're just other flavor characters for an area or whatever. Okay. That makes sense. That's cool. I like it.
And I'll probably readdress. I had a couple of people ask about why the NDA stuff. A couple times, and a few. Well, two of them cited the whole thing about mechanics are not copyright protected, but that is accurate.
I see what they're saying.
Yeah, there's part of the reason we can do D20 systems in the first place is because of that.
Right.
But yet, remember, NDAs aren't specifically just for protecting copyright. There's a lot of reasons that you have NDAs in place. Some of it is, hey, I'm protecting my brand, right? First impression type thing. You wouldn't, if you were going on like a Tinder date or something, right? You wouldn't want the woman to have her first impression of you to be getting a free glimpse of you waking up first thing in the morning with your disheveled head and going and taking a dump and then getting your coffee and things like that. You'd like the first impression to be when you actually meet her at the date, right? It's kind of the same thing here. Not everything's ready for presentation. We don't want to create confusion. We don't want people to have access to things. Part of it is you got to remember I'm part of G&G, and I mean, just take a look at how our haters do things like Ripiverse, right? They'll latch onto anything to give them bad PR and press, and so having things in a protected area behind paywalls and things where we can refine them before they're out in the public getting torn apart is also a part of it.
True. And you could get feedback from people who are critical, but also not out for blood. Because I love our audience because they can be really critical and specific, but they're not like trying to destroy. They're like, trying to make it better.
Yeah, no, feedback is perfect. Hold on one second.
Okay.
How do I mute? Shit, Discord.
Mute it up. All right. I can still hear you. I mean, I could mute you. I can turn your volume all the way down, but I won't know when you're talking again. Oh, there you go. You're muted. Yeah, trickery and guile instead of smash with hammer is fun. It can be fun. You can go totally the other route where people just take it too seriously and they go deep into it. You're like, oh, what have we done? We've turned this into a fade lawyer show. No. All right, what was I doing? Oh, I was gonna post something here if I can get it loaded up. I'm gonna go put something in the pet channel here. I can. Where is it? Pet place. All right, let me go pull this up. Because I just took a picture of Calvino flopped on my lap. Come on, machine. You can do it. I know I have a lot of windows open, but you can do one. Grab this. Oop. Right. Dang it. It's just not behaving. All right, let's open this up again and try this again. My machine's having some issues.
All right.
He's back.
What was I talking about?
You're talking about the not having your Tinder date see you disheveled.
Oh, NDAs.
Yes.
Wait, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hopefully you can hear me
Frost?
still. Yes. Can you hear me now?
Did I lose connection?
No, you're here. I can hear you. Maybe you muted me? I don't know. Can you guys still hear me?
I guess nobody can hear me, so this would be a bad time for me to say Chrysanth smells, and you're all a bunch of chat bastards.
Oh, everybody can hear
we're
you.
glad you can't hear me right now.
Yeah, see, we all hear you. You just don't hear me.
It would also be a bad time to say that Chrysanth is an egg. So is Michaela.
Uh-huh. I could mute him.
And Lynn Green is evil. It'd be a real bad time to say that if people could hear me, but luckily nobody can.
Little does he know.
I guess I got disconnected. This is unfortunate.
I'm pinging him to let him know we can't hear him.
What other things can I say? What other terrible things can I say?
Oh, Chelvina, you're gonna fall off my lap.
Star Trek sucks. Star Wars is awesome. Xbox is better than PlayStation.
He's getting deep in there.
Mayonnaise tastes good on fries. Pineapple is good on pizza.
Oh, he just started war.
But it's also not my favorite.
Nice.
Did I mention that Chrysanth is evil? I can't remember if I did that or not. Hot sauce and coffee? I'd probably try it, but I haven't yet.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna get this picture. I had to rotate the picture because when I took the picture, there we go. All right, here's the picture of Calvino on my lap currently.
How long do I stay connected to see if my signal comes back? That's the real question here.
Wonder why you can't hear me.
Secondary question. When I reconnect, is it just going to do that thing where like everything I said catches up but doesn't like a little rapid chipmunk voice? Because that's also going to be very bad.
That's a good question. I'm gonna hop out of the voice chat once and get back in. I'm gonna hop out and jump back in. Can you hear me now, Irudai?
Wait, are you back?
Well, I hopped out because we've been able to hear you the whole time, but I've just been you haven't been able to hear me evidently.
It's me.
All right, he hopped out. Maybe he's gonna hop back in. Do it, Crescent. Do it. He's probably in a weird spot where he's partially connected. Yeah, he's probably connected to Craigslist. Right? Craigslist? Is that what we're saying? Maybe. Hee hee.
Oh, he left.
Oh, he left. He knew you were showing up, Chrysanth. He knew you were showing up.
He left.
He said, I gotta be out of here when she shows up. Oh, wait, there he is. Maybe. Maybe he's not. I don't know. Well, we can talk. Did you get to see the picture of Calvino?
Yes, it's so cute.
He is so curled up, and that's 22 pounds of cat compressed as much as he can compress.
I can't get over how big he is.
He's just a big fluff. And he is like, he's like a little pool of lava sitting on me. It's just like, bleh.
Oh my god.
Well, welcome, Chrysanth. What kind of exciting thing do you want to go over in lore here? Scottish?
I have no idea.
Well,
Well, I've read a little bit in general about Scottish stuff, but in general, I don't know too much about it.
I'm having fun looking back at specifically Grimm's fairy tales. And, you know, when you look at them, they did a lot of very, very moral judgments. They would invite, you know, storytellers into their home and have dinner, and they'd ask them stories or tell about stories, and the people would tell them stories. They're like, "Ooh, we'll change this and add a moral story here. We'll change something here and make sure that it's a person who's a wanderer becoming heroic, or a person from a lowborn state becoming rewarded for doing good things and becoming a highborn." That's kind of the status of a lot of their stories, but they were very bloody too.
Oh yeah. It's been ages since I read Canterbury Tales, and I only read a couple of them. Oh.
I had an
He just
entire
realized
class on them. Woo!
Oh yeah. He just realized we could hear him.
Ah. Wait, did he say something to you?
Yes.
He's so dead. I mean, he's totally said. Yay! At least he didn't say anything really, really bad, right? Except for the pineapple on pizza thing.
Yeah, no, I can't forgive that one.
No. I'm still going to talk to Michaela, though. She seems nice enough, except for that.
Yeah, everyone has their faults.
Yeah, exactly. One of the things that I did today, I was looking up, weirdly enough, trees that have thorns on them. Because I read the whole story of Briar Rose, the Grimm fairy tale. And I was like, you know, I want one of these little dudes, these two characters, Buttercup and Acorn. One of them is going to have a little halberd that's made from a hawthorn thorn, because they're multi-pronged. And they're kind of red looking. And I'm like, oh, that'll be cool. He's got a little tiny fey halberd made out of a thorn.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that.
I think he'll be fun. They're gonna be helpers of Kika. So it's gonna go over well. Mm-hmm.
Quote unquote helpers.
Exactly. The helpers of the goddess of trickery. It'll be perfect. But I also wanted the little acorn guy to have something unique. So I was trying to decide. I think I might actually give him a shovel.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I did not kick you.
No, he said you picked him.
Yeah.
No, he said kicked. Okay. Yep. She took over. Get back in the call, you nerd. Nice. Have you ever read oh my gosh, what is it called? It's a series of 3 books. I think it's 3 books by a guy named Guy Gavriel Kay. It's the Fiona of Our Tapestry.
No.
They're 3 books. They're short books, but they are a group of characters or people who come from our world and they get transported into this kind of like a fable realm. And it's brutal. And some horrible things happen to some of them. But it's just such an interesting, repetitious, like story beat. Like you get the little fables and things in your head over and over and over. They're just really well written, and they come together really nicely in the end. So if you're ever looking for something kind of fantastic and fable-ish, you should look it up.
Oh yes. Send it to me, but I'll hop out so that Arud I can rejoin.
He can't. What? Wonder why he can't.
No, I'm trying to check the stuff.
I mean,
but
both of you
I'm
were
not good at the Discord stuff.
you were both in there before.
Yeah, he's been joining and then just not able to talk. But I'll hop out anyway. But
Okay.
it was nice chatting with you.
You as well. Have fun out there.
Alrighty, bye. I'll be in
Bye.
chat.
All right. Chrysanth, everybody. All right, I'm trying to take another picture of the Calvino who's decided he's stretched out. There we go. All right, she's out. You might be able to hop back in there. I mean, it's possible that I could hop out too. Who knows? I don't see any kind of reason that it would not allow you in there. Weird. Huh. Well, you were both in there at one point. All right, what was I doing? Oh, the capital. Yes, the capital. I'm going to have to come back to the capital because I want to talk about or write about the Dwarven Harbor, which is not something you think about ever because dwarves and water don't exactly mix. But these dwarves do have a harbor here. And I had a name in my head and it just went, where did it go? I can't remember the name. It's bomber and water definitely don't mix. Exactly. I'm trying to think. I've lost the word I'm trying to think of here. When something dominates. End of the pier. Oops, ships off of the Rocky. Okay. Yeah, we don't want Bomber in the water. He's not going to make it. We'll be good with non-Bomber. Non-Bomber. So there's a big squat lighthouse at the end of the pier here, the big stone pier that they've built. That warns them off of the rocks and into the little harbor they built. It's mainly for trade with other people coming in this part, because the dwarves do not sail as a rule. It's not something they do. And they really use it as a trade point for Agrium and other places beyond. Any place that's easier to reach by water and the coast than overland. But also it's a great fishing village, so. Stone ships don't float well? Well, if you look into Thomas Covenant, the Giants had ships built of stone that sailed incredibly well. But there, you know, there was the land and the magic and everything, and they had a deep connection to the stone. So, a little different than a dwarf making a stone boat. A bit. A little bit. Alright, magnificent but small harbor there. Alright, well, I'm still in the voice chat, but I don't need to be in the voice chat anymore. If Erudai can't get back in for some reason. Or if he doesn't want to, because he hates me. All right, Erudai, I hopped out once. If you're still listening there, I hopped out. Maybe because I was in there? Maybe? I don't know. You contaminated it with cooties. No! Why did you do that? Or maybe his phone got messed up somehow. I don't know. By the way, I've got to say, you know, like I said earlier, it's really great getting feedback from the community because people will be very honest about their feedback, going, I love this, I don't like that. And they're trying to make everything better. The community is so awesome that, you know, we're doing that Rifts thing over on JT's channel on Sunday. People have already started donating to hit the player goals for the character creation stream. People have already donated a bunch of money to hit goals. I'm like, you people are amazing. I love it. So, it's heartwarming. I love it. You people, you're awesome. And they haven't even announced all the things necessarily yet of like what the goals are going to be, which is just like, yeah. Smelly plant cooties. No, maybe just a bad area. It could be. Yeah. Have fun with it. Yeah. For the session 0, there was some, there was a little chaos. It was fun though. I got to do a couple of interesting things as my character, which was just, yeah, it was rewarding. I enjoyed it. It's going to be crazy, but we're a good party, so we got to be good. Michaela, Circus had fun, or were you responding to something else? Hi, buddy. Sleepy Vino. Sleep Vino on my lap. Liberty ships made of cement seem to work pretty well. That's true. That is true. Oh, he did post the menu. Oh, okay, cool. Well, then it's been posted. Did he mention that part of it's already been hit, which was fun? I liked it. All right, so the Dwarven Harbor. Let's see, I've got about 14 minutes left here of stuff. Let me check and see if Aruda hop back into the voice chat. Nope, I don't see him in there. Okay, that's fine. Oh, okay, nice. All right. Okay, stood proudly on the southern coast of the kingdom ever since. Squat lighthouse dominates the end of the stone pier. Its ever-burning signal warning ships off of the rocky coast and into the safe What's it suggesting here? Into the safe harbor. Yeah, okay, buddy. He's got such a purr going on. He's so happy right now. The resident sales rule, a fashion and magnificent but small harbor here. Several larger ships be at once. Okay, there we go. Oh, buddy boy. Oh, okay, that's not as exciting. Wow, you've got murder paws. Dude, watch the claws. Thank you. There we go. He realized what he was doing to my finger. I got a hole in it now. Thanks, dude. Okay, Halfling Town. Trying to decide what I want to do. I want to do something different with this Halfling Town in this horse area. So I honestly, this is going to sound a little funny, but because the people of this area are the Saxons, but they're also like big horsemen that go across the plains, I wanted the little Halfling village down here, the Halfling Town, to have a lot of ponies. For whatever, I want to figure out how to work that out. I want it to be a lot of ponies and small mounted halflings. But I don't know if that just seems weird. I'm trying to decide how it works out. There we go. Ponies are like workhorses. Yeah, not battle horses, just like lots of little workhorses and stuff. But I'm also trying to decide, I'm playing around with a couple of ideas that this is like, the halflings here are known for their fishing villages, their little round coracles, their little boats going out and catching all kinds of fish and bringing them up because they fish, because the Saxons, have their own fishing village, but they're more like, we're horsemen, we don't do this stuff. But the halflings do, and the dwarves love, having the food and the fish. But also these halflings are really known for being fantastic archers. Like little bows, little archers, but really good at archery. Because it'd be kind of fun to have like a different group, like this group of halflings good at, something that's not totally normally halfling-like. Which could be fun. They're not like warriors, it's more like, hey, if we have to hit something, we can, but it's more like a point of pride of like, hey, you're a pretty good archer. Yep, I can hit all the targets. All right, hit that goblin. Like with an arrow? Yes. Hi, Calvino. I woke you up? Okay, sorry. I said yes in that tone. He also just goes, what? What? Yeah, he's like, would you please not say yes that loudly? Little dorks. Little dork. Okay, did I disturb your sleep too much? Okay. I'll leave you alone, dude. We're almost done streaming, and you can go back to sleep. It'll be fine. You'll be good. He's like, looks like an old man right now, just like licking his lips, looking around with eyes half closed. Oh, did I insult you? He's staring up at me and blinking at me now. Called him an old man. Yeah, I think those halflings. I'm trying to reconcile the idea that they're fishermen with the halflings being the archers, so maybe they're not. I don't know. I'm trying to decide. Let's see if I can work that together. If I can't, then I'll remove one of the two and probably make the archers be some other group of halflings somewhere else, like in one of the other kingdoms, maybe. And maybe make these guys just like consummate fishermen. I mean, it's enough of an unusual thing to have halflings that are really, you know, hey, let's go swimming. Yeah, you can. You can hunt fish with a bow. That could totally work. That would totally work. So we're coming up on about 7 minutes left, something like that. Yep, 7 minutes left. So I'm gonna start wrapping up a couple of things here. This has been fun. And I enjoyed getting to chat with Rudai, even though he didn't get to get back into the chat, sadly. Sadly. There we go. All right. And what was I saying? I was just saying something. I'm sure it was really critical. You had a glitch with Discord? Well, we'll go with glitch with Discord. Yeah. I do like that his example of the NDA stuff had to do with Tinder. I mean, I don't like it, but I think it was fitting, given his methods of communication about things and subjects that come up often with him. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I am not surprised that that's where it went. You think your anti-tech magic messed up Discord? Yes, very tactful, Front. Yeah, tactful. That's tactful. I'm totally tactful. Right. He's trying to speak to the youth. Hello. How are you, fellow youths? Or how? What is it? What it be like, fellow youth? Whatever that Steve Buscemi meme was. What is up, fellow youths? I got to use that meme the other day, by the way, because I was doing that exact thing. So, anyway, I had fun. I enjoyed it. It was nice to have you on the call. I wish that it hadn't screwed up, but it was entertaining hearing you say things when nobody could hear you, but they heard everything. It was the best. Utes? The two Utes! Exactly. Right, so I got, just making this note in my head, I got the Germanic-based nation kind of fleshed out, some of their areas, how they connect to the other places, the God-Killer War hooked into here, the notes on the Dwarven Nation, I made a note on the lexicon, which I didn't talk about, more about Agrium and the decline of its empire. Apparently, I smell it, I'm a nag. That was also a glitch. Oh my goodness. And Star Trek sucks. And there was something about mayonnaise on fries. Now, I work with a lot of people who are in, from one of the groups I work with there in Canada. And they were happy that I knew what poutine was. And that I liked it. And I told them how I have it, and they're like, "Oh, that's not how we have it." Because when I have it, it's usually fries with possibly green onions, but I put cheese curds on top, and then some sort of meat like pulled pork, shredded brisket. Occasionally I've used other things, but mostly it's a shredded meat of some sort. Like a chicken is good on it, and then gravy with it, and that's all really good together. I've even had it with jalapenos because spice. A lot of them never put meat on it. It's just literally cheese and gravy and fries. I was like, okay, fine. We will have nerd war words, Rudai. So, yeah. I've had aioli with fries, and that's good, which is sort of like a mayonnaise. Sort of. It's garlic aioli or a blackened aioli. Something like that. But enough about that. Enough about aioli and stuff. So what we're going to do is I think we're going to wind down here. I'm going to get Calvino into a more comfortable position somewhere else. I'm going to move him after I get done with the stream so I have my blood flow back in my legs. But I'm going to keep working on some of this stuff probably after the stream as well. Or I'll go play a game. We'll see. But anyway, thank you so much for coming on along. This has been Froste Written with Frost and Calvino. If you want to see what he looked like during most of the stream, you can go to Pet Place and see the picture of him curled up like a caterpillar on my lap in the Discord. And I will be back again to do this on Thursday, same time, but over on Moonskull. And we'll go over some more of this stuff. I might let you guys know in Discord what I'm going to go over next time, because some people messaged me and they said they kind of like the idea of knowing what I'm going to work on next. And that's fine. I'm a little chaotic when it comes to which thing inspires me at any given time, because, you know, writing does that. But I'll try. I'll give my best try to do some sort of a precursor, an idea, a message, a hint, any of those things. But you can find me on all my links in the link tree. Occasionally I'll play games at night and I'll get mad at games and bad design and all that fun stuff. You can also look forward to seeing me on Mondays on Call of Cthulhu, where I'm trying my best to get Clay killed or go insane, because, you know, life is boring if you don't go take some risks. I will be on Sundays, the Rift campaign. I don't remember if the time was announced, but it should be announced by now, so you can find out where that is over there. And I will eventually be in Moss's The One Ring campaign on whatever day it's going to be on, whenever it's announced. But I'll be there. So I am going to get going, and I will talk to you all next time. And like I said, please give a like to the stream, comment, and ask questions. More comments, better. Fewer comments, not as good. Don't make Chrysant come after you. She will. She hopped into this voice chat to get a rude eye, so she'll come after you. She knows where you all live. Pretty sure she works at the NSA. Is that right? I think it is. Oh, yes. Old man yells at game, exactly. And no adding hours of the day for more no sleep draws. No, I'm still considering it. If I do it, like I said, in the middle of the night and add an extra hour to every day when everybody else is asleep, they get an extra hour of sleep, I get an extra hour of not sleeping, and I can do more stuff. Like I said, win-win. It's perfect. So, no arguing. Magic works. And with that, I will talk to you all later, and we will talk more about half-dragons. Levistro, half-dragons. He's going to come after me later. He's going to totally come after me now. And I will talk to you all later. Have a great night, and try not to do anything too crazy.